I have a very special connection because, like I said, he was my first reptile ever. He was my very first reptile. So you have no idea what's going on today. You're actually turning 10 years old this year. All right, so this is something that I've been dreading to make and talk about and to happen. Rango was my first reptile, and kind of what triggered all of this, I thought it was important to make a video and just acknowledge that he did in fact pass away. I got him in 2015 as a hatchling on impulse. I had just seen the new Jurassic World movie. One day I was like, you know what? I want a dinosaur. So we went to a pet store, and I remember looking at a couple options, and I didn't know anything about reptiles at this point. I have no idea what I'm looking for or what I'm doing. And this girl that I like kind of knew was working there, and she came up to me and I was like, hey, like, I think I want these things. They were like these little horned desert lizards, like they were small. And I told her like, hey, like I actually really like this. Like, are these an easy pet? Could I do this? And she's like, no, you should do a crested gecko. And I was like, what's a crested gecko? And she basically told me it's pretty much like the easiest reptile you can get. They live a long time and you don't have to use any kind of lighting on them. Although I do know some people use UVB, which I did use UVB for him on and off throughout the 10 years I had him. But when I first got him, I did get the UVB. And he, you know, she told me he doesn't even need live bugs. Like, you can just give him this Rapashi and you mix it up and just make sure he stays misted. Give him a good mist every couple days. And yeah, easiest pet ever. Okay, so I picked out Rango, and Rango had like the biggest head, and I just thought he was so cute. So we got him. I was immediately obsessed. I remember going on YouTube myself, finding channels that would talk about and highlight crested geckos. And I remember one at the time that I came across was Leopard Gecko YouTube. Followed her and watched her, which is funny because now like I do this too and we know each other and we're friends, and that's so cool. But when I got Rango, that sparked something that no other animal had really. Granted, I did have lots of betta fish before him, but like this was a different kind of pet. This was like more unique at the time. Eventually, he did kind of lead me to spiders in a weird way. I just recently built a nice big enclosure for him last year when we got this animal room. One of my goals was to upgrade some of my animals, and he was one of them. So I gave him this nice big beautiful enclosure that he deserved. I knew he was 10 years old, but I thought I would have more time with him. He was not showing any signs of slowing down. He was eating very well. I'm surprised he wasn't fat. He always kind of stayed kind of lean, but he was just always a little bit more leaner. I heard the males can just kind of stay a little bit more lean. But yeah, I'm a little confused on their lifespan because like if you ask some people, they'll say 10 years and then other people will say 30 years. All I have to say is a month ago, he was totally fine. But it was actually kind of weird because I was planning on getting another crested gecko at the NARBC St. Louis Expo. I had that planned already with Tyler Ruggie. I told him, you know, I do finally want to get another crested gecko. I never had another crested gecko besides Rango, and I thought it'd be super cool to get another. And also I acknowledged that he was older, so you know, just in case anything ever happened to him, I still wanted to have a crested gecko. That conversation happened, and I did buy Fester, which I will introduce you guys to more formally here in a little bit. I actually have 2 crested geckos to introduce you to. Super weird because that exact weekend is when Rango did his first like really weird thing. So I pulled him out of his enclosure and his head did this weird like thing back and forth like this, like just shook really, really violently for like a minute. Not a minute, maybe like 5 to 10 seconds, but it was super weird. And I was like, what was that? But he immediately kind of snapped out of it and acted normal. And I was like, okay, like that's kind of weird. Maybe he was freaked out because I grabbed him, and sometimes he was a little bit of a biter. Maybe he was trying to bite me or something. I don't know. After that, he just wasn't right. I noticed for like the next week, he did not climb really at all. He stayed on the bottom of his enclosure, and he also like thinned out more. So I don't think he was eating his food anymore. He just like suddenly stopped eating after that, and he just started looking worse and worse and worse very rapidly. And I had made him a vet appointment, but they couldn't get him in until like a week or so. I was put on a cancellation list, you know, just in case like somebody canceled, then he could be seen sooner. But I already like knew it wasn't gonna be good just based off how he looked and how he was acting. I knew, and his age, like I knew it was not good. What I think happened was some kind of organ failure, because a lot of times especially if they have like kind of sketchy genetics, which he did. They will have some kind of organ failure and it can cause seizures, but it was pretty horrible. Like I had a really rough, I guess last, I would say 4 or 5 days with him, especially the last 2 were really bad. Just, I picked him up and he would be kind of like limp, but he was still there. I found him with his mouth full of substrate, so I eventually moved him to like a smaller holding enclosure with like paper towels and no substrate, and just kind of waiting for his vet appointment. But I knew he probably wasn't going to make it to that, and he didn't. He did end up passing away. It was really sad because I have had him for so long. I've had him through so much, you know, starting out at our first apartment, like Eric and I's first apartment that we got together. He was there, and then we got pregnant and we got our second apartment, and then we moved to the third one, which you guys are probably most familiar with, and then it led to us eventually buying this house. And so, I mean, he moved with us a bunch. He was older than my daughter. It was just a lot. Yeah, so I just wanted to like let you guys know, and even though he was 10, I still feel like I was cheated out of years of his life, and I don't really know why, and I'm just really bummed about it. Now, having said that, yes, I did get another crested gecko before I knew something was even really wrong with him from Tyler Ruggie, named Fester, but I also got another crested gecko basically the night that Rango, I knew he was gonna die. I ended up going to the pet store just to get some crickets, and when I went up there, one of the employees showed me this cute little crested gecko. They said, "Kat, look how cute this crested gecko is. He just hatched, but he has kinks in his tail." They said he's free to a good home. And I was like, that is so bizarre, because my crested gecko Rango is actually not doing well, and I know he's going to, you know, pass soon, and so I feel like this is a sign. Now, as you can see, they are really, really tiny, and yes, we definitely have some kind of kink in our tail, right? It looks like there's 2. I'm really hoping that this one does well, because my daughter is absolutely in love with it. She actually named him or her Macaroni, so this is Macaroni, and they're, oh my god, they're so little. I've been keeping Macaroni in this little Tarantula Cribs Essentials enclosure right here for about a week or 2 now. I think it's time that we give them a nice little upgrade. I've actually never put this together or shown it on my channel. This is the Reptile Cribs Gecko XXL Arboreal Enclosure. Yeah, so Reptile Cribs is by Tarantula Cribs, so my affiliate code does work for them. Affiliate code Kat10 also saves 10% on your Reptile Cribs, but I really wanted to try this enclosure because I think it's so cool, and it's actually like the perfect size. For Fester though, the crested gecko that I just got, I actually put Fester in this enclosure, Switch Treehouse, the large, and I put this extension on it, so you can like get the extra large Tarantula Cribs Treehouse, and then you can also get an extension to make it even taller, and you can switch the lids. So I opted for this mesh lid, and this is how I did Fester's enclosure. Fester is so chunky, he's down here, but I absolutely love how this enclosure came out too. I think this is also a really good option for crested geckos, but I do like how this other one is. So I'm gonna put it together, and I'll let you guys be the judge. You can tell me which one you guys like better, this or that, but let's go ahead and put this together for Macaroni. Okay, so this is the gecko enclosure, and it is so like compact and cool. Something that I also really like about these is that they will hook up with the other enclosures. They have magnets on the sides, so you can actually have like a whole row of these, and they'll just like be perfectly like this. It also comes with this cool little handle right here. I think this is such a cool touch. It has this nice mesh top, which allows you to use UVB, but also it makes misting really easy. But yeah, this is like a very nice little upgrade for this little one. You can see how much taller it is and longer, or deeper, I guess. Let's go ahead and set something up cool. You can tell I went to Michael's recently. I got like tons of nice plants. Michael's has like the best freaking plants. Let's see if we can break this up. Oh yeah, perfect. I've got some arachnidirt left over. I took a bunch home to put together this really cool P vittata enclosure. I'm sorry, P fasciata enclosure. She's down here. But yeah, this I just put together for the reptile room, and I haven't taken it up there yet, but I made a reel and a short and everything on here. This is also a really good enclosure for an adult cresty, or like a smaller adult. Extra large Tarantula Cribs Treehouse switch enclosure, so you can do a mesh top for this as well. Ooh, I think maybe I'll do this in the back, and then I'll do this cork round they can hide in, and then we can just put in a little bit of this. You know, this is just gonna be like a nice, simple setup to grow them out in. I wish I had some like extra mushroom ledges right now, but I don't. But I do have a couple of these awesome bridges I got from Spooky Sweet Spoods. These are really, really awesome. They're just magnetic, 3D printed. They're kind of short because they're for tarantula or jumping spider enclosures mainly, but you could definitely use these like this as like an extra thing. But yeah, here it is. Pretty cool. And it's like really like deep in there. You see what I'm saying? I think that looks great. I probably will be adding some frog moss though and another water dish. But yeah, all right, macaroni, are you ready? You're so little too, it's so funny. And yeah, like you can see we are like a little kinked up, but I think we will be okay long term. Hopefully. So here we are. There you go. We're gonna, oh, big jump. We did a big jump. Oh, wow. Just adorable. Such a good little grow out tank and perfect for a gecko. I absolutely love these. But yeah, and here is Fester really quick. Let me show you guys Fester. He is so cute, but yeah, he's a little skittish still. He has this really nice dark coloring, and yeah, he's doing pretty good. There they are. Tell me which one you guys like better. I am kind of curious. That's all I have for you guys today. I just want to give you guys an update and show you the new babies. And of course, I still have my Chinese cave gecko with the swollen eye. They're doing really well. I haven't really talked much about them lately, but I post about them on Instagram a lot. They're one of my favorite animals. Like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not, and you want to be. Don't forget I have an Instagram, but it's probably way too much. It's at Tarantula Kat. You can go follow me there. I also have a website, tarantulakat.com. Go check it out. I will see you guys soon. Let's get into the members picks.